Have you ever had the wrong idea about someone? When I started my new job at an accounting firm, there was this guy, Toby, who everyone avoided like the plague. He looked intimidating, tall, muscular, covered in tattoos, with a permanent scowl on his face. The office manager warned me on my first day to stay away from him, saying he had anger issues. For months, I believed the whispers. I'd seen him snap at people who interrupted his work, and he spent lunches alone in his car instead of the break room. One time, he slammed his keyboard so hard that it broke. The incident report said it was workplace aggression. Then one rainy Tuesday, my car wouldn't start after work. The parking lot was empty except for Toby's truck. I debated calling an Uber, but before I could, he walked over. My heart started racing. Instead of the growl I expected, he quietly asked if I needed a jump start. When the cables didn't work, he offered me a ride home. I almost said no, but it was pouring, and I was desperate. The drive was awkwardly silent until we passed a small animal shelter. His whole demeanor changed as he pointed it out, telling me he volunteered there every weekend. Turns out, those lunch breaks in his car, he was bottle-feeding orphaned kittens. The anger issues? He'd caught a manager verbally abusing an intern and stood up for her. The keyboard incident? He'd just learned that his sister's cancer had spread. That ride changed everything. I started noticing things I'd missed before. How he always refilled the coffee pot when it was empty, how he helped the cleaning staff take out trash when they were short-staffed. The aggressive man had the biggest heart in the office. A month later, we had a huge audit coming up. Everyone was stressed, working late. I walked into the break room at 9 p.m. to find Toby teaching Linda, our oldest employee, how to use Excel shortcuts. He'd stayed 4 hours after his shift to help her because she was afraid of being fired for being too old for computers. The real shock came during our holiday party. The CEO was giving his annual speech when a small group of kids burst in, running straight for Toby. Confused whispers filled the room. Toby scooped them up, huge smile on his face. Turns out those kids were from the local children's home. Every month, Toby anonymously donated half his salary to support their education. He'd never told anyone. The scary guy who everyone avoided was literally keeping orphaned kids in school. I later found out why he had all those tattoos. Each one represented a kid he'd helped get adopted. 23 tattoos, 23 children who found homes because of him. The skull on his forearm? That was for Tommy, who beat brain cancer. The dragon on his neck? Sarah, who escaped an abusive home. The office dynamic completely shifted after that party. People started seeing the real Toby. The break room was no longer empty during his lunch hour. His desk started accumulating little thank you notes from coworkers he'd quietly helped. 6 months later, our firm had its best quarter ever. During the celebration, our CEO announced a new charitable foundation, funded by the company, run by Toby. The guy everyone used to avoid was now in charge of millions in charitable giving.